is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
It's spring game week, and Deputy Athletic Director Val Johnson is in the Country Financial Studio.
Yeah.
We have so much to discuss.
So much.
So much. Great weekend at the Jane. Coach Lombardi is going to join us coming up talking Oregon softball. I mentioned the spring game coming up. A lot of fun festivities around Eugene, including volleyball.
Yeah.
They're back indoors at Matthew Knight Arena.
Back.
It's part of why I wanted to talk with you this week.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
no, a lot going on.
A lot to unpack. How are you?
Doing great.
Yes?
Full disclosure, I got my puppy out in the car.
All right. Okay.
So she's just chilling. In
You're
her crate. She's
not-
probably napping.
You
what
did
she's
not
doing.
want to bring the puppy into the studio.
Oh, no.
Why?
No. She's past the cute, like, oh, look at the cute little puppy that just sleeps on the floor. Like
This land shark phase?
This is beyond that. She's 7 months old and completely crazy.
Remind fans the type of dog?
It's a wire-haired pointing griffin, or they actually say griffon, but Olivia, my daughter, says, Mom, that sounds so snobby. But a wire-haired pointing griffin. They're bird dogs. They have beards, wire coat. Yeah.
And a land shark.
Yes. Like, legitimately.
We have a lot of cables in here.
Yes.
Do you think they would survive?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Do you think that
the
our
cameras wouldn't be standing?
Do you think that our plush version of the duck would survive?
For a little bit.
Okay. How about the bobbleheads?
Yeah, they're fine. The balls, though, done. They're gone.
Really?
That's her favorite
Punctured.
right now. Yeah, that's her favorite.
It's a dog of taste.
Yes, that is her favorite.
All right, good update.
So it could have been a real wild and crazy show if I would have just walked in with her and just let her
I would have
go.
been here for it.
She's a lot right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
So I
Me
understand.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. I all prayers to my husband for
wife.
dealing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Spring game week.
Yeah.
Do you get excited when it's sunny again?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, this past weekend for softball.
I bring
unreal.
this up.
Like unreal.
I bring this up, and I usually send notes ahead of time. And inside the broadcast, Val said, "Nah, I don't need to look at them."
Yeah, he did send them to me, and I didn't read them.
So my note is: do you remember a conversation that we had?
Oh gosh, I should have read them.
We had a conversation where you were very like, "No, it is the fall. It is still sunny. It might be 40 degrees outside, but it's still sunny,
Correct.
which means you don't bring the coat. That's just what you do."
I didn't bring a coat today.
See, so this was my question: is were you able to make it through the whole winter without having to put the coat back on? Only Big Ten trips to other parts of the country.
Yeah, where it's
excluded.
frigid.
Yeah, excluded.
I'm not good at coats.
Okay, what does that mean?
I'm just not. I'm not the person, when you're in the house and you're hot and you're running around, and you go get in the car, you're not really thinking about putting on another layer then. Where it gets me is when I get here.
Oh.
And then I'm like, ooh, I need to walk in. And it's pouring or it's freezing. But then I'm like, it's not that far.
But you have discussed once upon a time also the trunk of our athletic director.
Yeah,
and how he's very
10
prepared.
out of 10.
Is yours a 10 out of 10 now? Okay.
No, mine's minus 10.
I really thought that one more winter you would be at a 10 out of 10 now.
No, I do have an extra pair of shoes in there right now.
That's a plus.
But not the right kind. It's for, the walk around. Type of thing.
Well, I had to ask because we had discussed this once upon a time. The weather always is beautiful for the spring game, and it felt appropriate to remind everybody that you were ready for the sun.
What was the forecast this weekend?
70 and sunny.
Oh, yes.
70 and
get
sunny
much
at
better.
Autzen Stadium. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
And you touched on softball. I'm glad that you brought that up. I mean, you oversee so much, right? But I know you're also somebody that likes to go and experience a lot of different events.
Yeah, that's the best part of this time of year is now I'm just experiencing and like on call.
What does that mean?
In case so for example, softball.
Okay.
Pooh.
Yeah.
Is sport administrator for softball.
Right.
I am still a little bit jealous. I do call myself the honorary sport administrator for softball. But they'd be neglected for most of their season if that was really the case.
That seems legit though.
It is.
Yes.
And especially when Pooh goes into like championship mode.
Right.
Then it's like he might need someone. I will say I have really stiff competition now with Lisa Peterson being back. Now that she's back, she has a long-standing history with softball that I don't have.
She does.
I don't try to compete with that. I try to embrace it. She's also got track, so maybe she's busy. I'm not. I don't have something in the spring.
So that means you get to be around softball a lot.
Well, I try.
Yeah.
She's definitely high competition for me.
Yes. Lisa Peterson is a big reason that the Jane is standing.
It really is.
Yeah.
And you have to pay respect to that.
Absolutely.
I can't just try to.
But you can still hang out at the Jane,
which
for
you
did this weekend.
Well, it's actually great because now it's like this weekend.
Right.
10th anniversary of the Jane, 60th of softball. Lisa's back. She helped build the Jane, like literally like hammer, nails, rigging. Like she did the thing. Her and Herbie were getting it done. And awesome event on Friday evening for the Sanders family prior to the whole weekend, which was really, really cool to meet people that are like in the Sanders family tree and meet the great-grandson who at the opening of the Jane did the batting lineup on PA. So that was really cool. But Lisa's there, and so she was here when that happened. So she gets to do all the speaking stuff, and I get to sit with a Diet Dr. Pepper.
But you're always on call.
On call.
Ready.
If you need a girl to handle the charcuterie board, I'm your girl.
What's on the charcuterie board?
Oh, man, it was good. I don't know where Pooh dialed up that catering from, but it was great.
I thought you made the charcuterie board.
No. I just come to, you need someone to, like, open up the, like,
What's on
it's
your
okay.
charcuterie board?
I just do meats and cheeses.
What does
and
that
crackers.
mean? I need details.
Italian meats,
Okay.
Some salami, some something.
Is it a cracker if it's in a tube shape like a breadstick?
No.
Okay.
Those are fancy ones. Our house is like real basic. Real basic.
I don't think that's true. I think
real basic.
You said the charcuterie board, so I have to ask about the charcuterie board. We've taken a few left turns today.
But softball was great. It was awesome. Sanders family, just a remarkable, remarkable group.
Yeah.
And to see what that has done for softball and having the alums back. It was just a really cool weekend.
Well, and you've been someone who has had this conversation with me for a variety of sports that, that's the connection, right? And you've seen it at other universities, seeing it here at Oregon. That's what this is all about ultimately.
Oh, for sure. And it was just really cool to see alums that, I don't know. I wasn't here when they were here, and then be able to meet them and talk about their experience and, all the fun things. And I can't recall her name right now. She was with Janie, and she was here with her husband, cutest little baby. And they had met because he was team manager. I was like, ooh, was there a love story in the dugout? And they said, no, this happened afterwards. But it's just really neat to be able to see those full circle moments and see how much the student athletes embrace coming back and just how much their time here has meant to them and continues to mean to them.
Val Johnson joining us, Deputy Athletic Director. We got a lot to cover. Women's basketball, volleyball, the sports that you work the closest with, but spring events, I knew that you'd have a lot of fun things to discuss. How does one like you set your calendar? What is your schedule? What is your priority? How do you do it?
Yeah, so like really this time of year, it's I'm catching up on a lot of things, frankly. And then
you have to come talk to us. We get it.
Which is great,
Thank you.
And it's nice because once basketball season ends, I always say like that month of April is kind of that decompression month for me. Just kind of hitting a reset, maybe, a couple days off here and there, that kind of thing to kind of just kind of get back. Yeah, just get back into a rhythm because it's a different rhythm. Obviously basketball, there's a lot of recruiting going on right now too. So they're super busy, and it's just being available for the questions that come up regarding that process because it has gotten a little bit more complex. We navigated it, last year, and then, house settlement, and now it's at first real year of us like really having some feet underneath us, and
well, if I could to pause on a moment, like unpack that for fans a
Yeah.
little bit, because there's so much that changes so quickly, but there's still the relationship piece still at the core of it. In a lot of
for
ways.
sure. So like with last year, we got news of everything pretty late, so it was just really quick adjustments. Like you're almost reacting. You've done some planning, but then you needed to react. So this year we knew, in big quotations, we know what to anticipate this cycle. But at the core of it, you're still trying to work with your coaches and the teams about finding the best fit. And that's everything from what's on the court to academically to just team culture, all of those kind of things. That's where the coaches, their bread and butter is totally, made then, is that, they're out really trying to figure out not only with the freshmen that are coming in, but then also where are some of these gaps to fill with the perfect transfer student and what does that look like. So it's really fun, to be able to get to know the student athletes and their families when they come on these visits. They have big decisions to make that really are these life decisions, because later on they could be coming back with their baby in a front pack for an alumni weekend.
There you go. See? Yeah, there you go.
So you want to make sure that you're helping them with that. And now, it's there's some added elements in there of figuring out with Lisa, with NIL, in rev share and all those things, and walking our coaches through it too. So it's just those moving pieces, but we've done a really good job of managing it here. I mean, it's nice to have Lisa at the helm with that, to have that point person of really being the expert of how we do those things, to be able to translate that back to our coaches and student athletes.
Because it is an ever-changing landscape.
Oh, for sure.
But to the point that I was making, it comes back to the relationship, and you're building that very quickly in this recruiting world today, aren't you? I mean, in the transfer portal world, you build those relationships. It used to be over years in high school. Now it moves faster than it used to.
Days. Literally days. And it's so fast. And so we're really fortunate here that, with the student athletes who are still here, that continue to remain here, and the ones that are coming on, it's looking really great for basketball in this past transfer portal.
Well, there you go. Check in on basketball. We've told you about some of the new additions to the roster, but it sounds like Coach Graves ready to – he could play a game tomorrow if he needed to.
He's ready. He's ready. And it's somewhat true. I mean, the student athletes that we have here that are currently going through their 8-hour weeks of workouts, I mean, it's a really great group of young women.
Women's basketball, we'll check in on them a little bit more. Also volleyball coming up. They're at home this week.
Yes.
Val Johnson is here, Deputy Athletic Director. Timeout. We're coming back. More on the spring game. By the way, we've got team names. Big deal. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Friday, Toyota says let's put good times in gear with the Tundra, Tacoma, and 4Runner. Want some cool available features? We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Insider is presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack joined by Deputy Athletic Director Val Johnson in the Country Financial Studio. I often say that the more slashes that you have in your title, the more important you are. You have a lot of slashes, so thanks for adding guest of the show to your job duties.
It might be the first one that I put there.
That's great.
Occasional.
Thank you. We've been discussing something.
Yes.
Honest job descriptions. So have you ever seen like honest movie trailers? You ever seen this? Okay. So like the honest movie trailer of, like if it's about Indiana Jones, it's like a professor goes on a hunt. Right. Like just like say it deadpan. What is this movie about? So we've been discussing like what is everyone's honest job description. So I'll tell you one for me is just professional regurgitator.
Oh.
I just listen to people who are a lot smarter than me and then I say it out loud.
Okay.
So you can think about what yours would be. What would be like Deputy Athletic Director encompasses a lot of things, but so think about it before the end of the segment. All right?
Okay. I was trying to think of what Brielle just said something to me today, and I can't remember what it was, but
Brielle probably nailed it.
Yeah, and
Director of Operations for Women's Basketball.
She called me with something, and I'll find the words for it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Volleyball is at home.
Yes.
This week. Pretty fun in the spring season for Duck volleyball.
Right.
Checking in with them. What's been going on?
Yeah, no, they are again so proud of Coach Kirsten and his staff and this team. It's hard to put into words without really knowing if you haven't been in it when a program literally does a complete reset. And comparing today to last year today.
He wasn't even in the United States probably
It is
right?
night and day different. I mean, just where at that time he was scrambling to put together a roster, a competitive roster. And he was still, out of the kindness of his heart, making sure that any of our former student athletes who were either transferring or graduating or getting ready to go play pro, that they still had the opportunity to train. So at any given moment, you could walk into the gym, and they're full on training student athletes that weren't going to be here, but it just kind of kept the rhythm going, while still recruiting and building the team that we saw this past season.
Pretty good. Testament of character.
Oh gosh! And then so now to be able to see this team with the ones that they have a year under their belt. There was a really cute video, and it's funny to hear someone like Alana talking about being a veteran player. I'm like, girl, you're a freshman. You just finished your freshman year. But it's like that's how they feel because they've kind of cut their teeth with rebuilding this program in the last year. So they have investment beyond their time that they've had here. It's like they really do feel like they've been here for quite a while. So to be able to go in and see them doing their training, they're in their 20-hour weeks right now, and being able to see them get ready for this spring, matchup this weekend, or it's pretty cool to be able to see that and know the players that have come in and really seen the growth of the program.
Well, and I'll just say, we were talking about it with Coach Kirsten even a few weeks ago, like the team and just the continuity and the difference that it can make now in an off season. That's a big deal. You talk about just team chemistry, but also just coaches chemistry even.
For sure.
Now they have that here moving forward.
Yeah, and they've just done, like I say, a remarkable job, and the student athletes that we have on that team are just amazing. And this season is going to be really, really exciting. So hopefully people could get a glimpse of it this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. It's part of a very large weekend around Oregon athletics. Really, to put it mildly, there's very few things going on with the spring game coming up.
Yeah.
And for Oregon volleyball, I love personally that they do these sorts of exhibitions because it gives all of us a chance to be like, oh, yeah, they're in their off season. There may not be games that we're always talking about, but when you have a spring match and you get to kind of revisit with the team, it's a good reminder that it's not just the season that you're in when all this stuff goes on.
Right. Well, and it's a great kind of just peek into like you were saying, what they're doing right now, but then also just to get the fans excited for what's coming in the fall.
Yeah.
And, with volleyball now, much like a lot of our sports, we have a significant group of newcomers that came in this past spring, this past January. And so to be able to kind of do a brief introduction so they're not just a new face once the fall season comes. You know, it's really neat to be able to provide that opportunity, not only to the student athletes and the coaching staff, but also to our fans and community.
More details, GoDucks.com. Hosting Oregon State Friday. Matthew Knight Arena, first serve set for 6 p.m. It's free, open to the public. Come hang out at Matthew Knight Arena for a team that's got 10 returners back.
10.
From last year's team. After the Ducks had one returner back last year.
So great.
10 returners
so
back.
Great.
Yeah, 10 returns. Yeah, I was curious, too. Anything that comes up for you with the addition of a volleyball tournament now? Big Ten has announced the volleyball tournament since
so
we
we've
last
announced,
talked.
yes, in all things. We were having conversations about adding in a tournament next year. But in this conference, which I think is really cool, is the voice of the coaches is very much listened to and thought through, and the coaches felt like we were in a really good position to actually do a tournament this year. So we had to do some juggling around of the scheduling, because it shifts the number of weeks and that kind of thing. So they're working on that. But to be able to have a tournament, and especially I think it highlights the growth of collegiate women's volleyball.
Sure.
And also how it feeds into what's happening on the professional side. So that tournament really gives that opportunity to really get a lot of eyes on Big Ten volleyball. And as we know, Big Ten volleyball is the best in the nation. And so to be able to get those eyes on it during, just a week, all eyes on volleyball, there's going to be, it's not like other tournaments where it's like you'll get whoever's your winner is going to be the AQ to go in. Yes, that's the case, but we're still going to have so many other teams in. It's just a nice way. It's almost like a warm up to the tournament for the NCAA tournament to be able to have this together.
And it gives you that feeling. It's hard to replicate those tournament environments. Also, how quickly it moves.
Right.
With the scout, the fast pace, the turnover. I've heard so many basketball coaches talk about that.
Yeah.
It's going to be true in volleyball too.
No, it's going to be great, and I do think just to be able to highlight the sport for the community is it's a great opportunity to see very, very high level volleyball. Cool thing is our schedule works out that way too. I mean, we're going to be hosting. They just released. I'm pretty sure it's released. I think it's going to be released. So we'll have some great teams coming in here. And everyone knows. I mean, it's kind of like a flip flop. But hopefully we'll get the dates soon. Big Ten. So then we can start planning out and letting the fans know what days to mark on their calendar. But there'll be some great Big Ten volleyball coming in.
Volleyball in the fall, spring football continuing as well as spring volleyball, getting ready for the fall as well. Combat Ducks versus Fighting Ducks. We know for sure at Autzen Stadium. Black uniforms for the Combat Ducks, the white uniforms for the Fighting Ducks. At the end of the day, it's Ducks versus Ducks, Ducks versus them, as we would say. But the truth is that these sorts of scrimmages, things move around, and ultimately you just want everybody to be healthy.
Right.
Healthy at the end.
Be healthy at the end.
Healthy at the end. All right.
I will say with these types of games, I always get so nervous because you see it happening. Like, yes, it's Ducks versus them, but at some point, it clicks that there's a competition happening.
Right.
It's just how these high-level athletes are wired.
That's true.
And we're talking whether it's Olympics and we're playing tug of war, whether it's a get-to-know-you name game that Katie Harbert puts together. All of a sudden, it turns into
Very
a competition.
Yeah.
This is not about just working out our plays, and this is about winning.
There's 3 things that occur on every flight I've been on with student athletes. I'm curious if you'd agree with the 3. 1, rest.
Yes.
Right? They're going to sleep. 2, homework. 3, some sort of game involving cards or something else that is competitive.
Oh, for sure. And, I mean, just traveling with women's basketball, they are like the ultimate of a card game.
Really?
Phase 10, Uno, some random game that Briella's bought.
Try Flip 7. You'll like
it. They do. Yeah, Flip 7. That's another one that they have. I think I've played a few rounds of that one.
It's a good one.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah. Do you have an honest job description?
Yeah.
Honest job title? Did you think of it?
Well, I think because Brielle sometimes said, like, I don't want to say it's a level setter, but like a voice of reason.
The expectation guru.
Something where it's like, I'm going to run a scenario by you.
Right.
That I might think is super urgent right now.
Right.
But then when I run it by Val, she might be like, meh, like, you're fine. You don't need to worry about this right now. Like, we can move on. Or like I always say, I can make a decision for you.
You're a professional soundboard.
a professional soundboard, professional tiebreaker.
Oh, okay.
You know, if there's some sort of disagreement and then you come in.
Yeah.
Tiebreaker.
I like that.
Thought partner.
Thought partner. That's deep.
Yeah. Sounds deep, doesn't it?
You have those are some good bullet points
partner.
in your job description right there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
I said that Pooh, for example, is like just the logistics director. There's a lot of moving parts in Pooh equipment championships. He gets them all working together.
It's like a cruise director.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Yeah. Anyway, food for thought.
Okay, I'm going to keep a little list.
Yeah. It's great to see you.
Always great to see you.
Anything else fans should know? What did we miss today?
Rest up for this week. Rest up. If you want to, you could even sprinkle in a little Eugene marathon on Saturday morning if you want, and then just do it all. Sunday. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Why is my calendar all mixed up? It's Sunday.
Yeah. Got to get the spring game in, all the other events then.
Oh, okay.
That's right. So you
is there a 5K?
Probably.
Is there something happening?
5K in the morning. Yeah.
Okay, 5K in the morning on Sunday though.
No, the Eugene Marathon is Sunday.
5K
is Saturday.
That's okay.
There it is.
That's where I was.
So
Thank you.
Galvan confirms.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for confirming the social calendar for the week. So do the 5K, come out and do everything else, and then just use that as your warm up for the marathon.
That's right. The Eugene Marathon is a really cool event.
For sure.
Really cool.
It is Tracktown.
It is Tracktown. Val Johnson, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Always great to see you. I hope that we'll see you again before the end of the year.
For sure.
Whoa.
I know. We're almost there.
Comes quick. When we come back, talk about the end of the year. Duck softball put themselves in a real good position to be in town for a few more weeks at the end of the year. Missy Lombardi joins us after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. It's time to talk softball with Coach Lombardi. Hey, good weekend, huh, Coach?
Good weekend.
All right, that's it. We got Oregon State tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Coach, but it's so funny. Like, we talk about, like, all these good things that come about, and sometimes it really can just be summed up like, man, what a weekend for you and your team and the alumni, the fans, everybody this weekend at the Jane, huh?
It couldn't have been a more perfect weekend for everything that we had going on. It was it's a weekend I will never forget.
Really?
Yeah, it was a special weekend.
Well, to review it, I mean, you have the postseason implications of a top 25 series. You have the rivalry. It's Ducks and Dogs. It's celebrating 60 years of Oregon softball, 10 years at the Jane. Like, there's a lot for me to unpack with you there, Coach. So let's start maybe with the zoom out, which is 10 years at the Jane, 60 years of Oregon softball. We've been talking about it, but this was really the celebration that we've been building towards.
It was. We have been building towards this celebration for over half of a year. Yeah. I mean, it's unreal, and I just think about what Pooh Wasson and everybody did to just make this happen. It was such a special weekend. It was so cool. You know what a cool moment for me was? One, just seeing the Sanders family get out there, throw out the first pitch. I loved it. Just hearing the Jane roar for them. The second one was our alumni when they were coming down onto the field. They took them over the top of the bullpen and down the stairs. And so all of our alumni went past the bullpen while myself, Emma, and Lindsay were in there, and it was just such a cool moment for me. Cool. I got to slap high fives and give hugs, and you could just see their excitement getting ready to go out on the field. That was really cool.
And I love that you can even have that moment pregame, because like that's hard, right? Like, so we're going to talk about Senior Day coming up, and it's always like, okay, you do Senior Day beforehand, there's emotions, you do it afterwards. Like, this is a decision coaches have to make, right? But to even just be able to enjoy a moment that's something bigger than the game, that's got to be special for the student athletes too.
It is. I think it just really puts things in perspective. Sometimes we think something is so, and it's not.
It's a game.
You know, it's not. So having them here, having them just, if they could all fit in the dugout with us, they would have.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just that rivalry that's still, like that fire that's still in them. It was really cool.
Oh, and you do something like this rivalry weekend because it's just so easy then for the alumni to get extra fired up.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I love that. Well, and to talk about the Jane Sanders Stadium aspect. I mean, you even discussed something there that I'm glad you mentioned. Like, the Jane is so perfectly laid out in so many ways, right? Yeah. You have that walk where you can look down toward the bullpen, you come down and then enter the field. Like, there's things like that, then the touches that I think about a lot with all the great facilities around the University of Oregon. There's just such a thought that goes into them. And then to see the family and what it means to them, it's hard to put into words, isn't it?
It is. It's just the Jane. She's such a beauty. And 10 years later, and she's still a beauty.
Still a beauty.
You know, I love her.
And then the Bob.
Yeah.
I love the Bob. I got to tell you, I love
and
the Bob.
The Bob was just jammed. Our fans were amazing this weekend. It was so loud, you know, like you can't hear yourself think. And that's what it should feel like every time an opponent comes to the Jane.
Well, and certainly we've discussed so much what that means, and it meant a lot this weekend. To zoom in now to what this weekend meant. So, number 12 in the NFCA poll, number 14 in the USA softball poll, number 8 in the RPI. A lot of times we've talked about the strength of schedule, conference weekend that really was built up to be a big one, and you all took care of business on the field. What were some of your takeaways for your team?
I love how they competed. I love how they're playing together. Scoring early, I think, has been really big for us. Scoring early. Love seeing the power that I've been talking about all year. Just, you know, the long ball when we needed it. I thought our defense was exceptional. Defense wins championships, and you saw that on display this weekend. And then just watching Lindsay, you know, such a warrior on the mound, but then having Elise come back was huge.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because before we talk power, home runs, defense, all the things, like Elise Sokolsky, and she had some nice things to say post-game. You heard it on the show yesterday. Like, that's a big deal for her and for the team, isn't it?
It is. It is. We need a full pen, and just to, one, know that she's not done. You know, when she got injured, we didn't know if this was it. And to know that it wasn't, and we just needed her, give her time to, you know, get back to where she needed to be. She got a nice little roar when she came out on Saturday. So
that was super cool. And you know, and you talk about like the magic of the Jane, right? Like I'm curious your perspective on this, Coach. Like, I've compared it a little bit to, like, there's magic at every venue, but there's one that's specifically unique, I think, at Oregon, because it's Tracktown, right? It's Tracktown USA. There's this education among your fans at Hayward Field that gets talked about nationally, and I feel that at the Jane. Like, I got to tell you, like, the amount that fans are invested in the student athlete, the individual, I thought that was a really great illustrative moment of it this weekend.
It was. It is. It is. The Jane is on the national scene. Everybody knows the Jane. Nobody would ever say that, well, Oregon's softball stadium,
it's the Jane.
Yeah, we talk about her like she's a person.
I think it's awesome to see that. Now, on the Elise Sokolsky front, against a good opponent, too, in Washington, right? You got to be pretty proud of your pitching staff this weekend.
Really proud. That's a really, really good team. Just powerful at the plate. They're just really good. And so we needed to be flawless with what we did and just really minimize, if we had a mistake, like minimize things because they can blow things open right quickly.
Talking softball with Coach Lombardi. All right, to the offense. A lot of home runs this weekend. Power's been a weapon for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's so exciting to see. This is something going into the season that I was looking forward to, and it just took us a little bit, not just with that, but with some other things. It just took us a little bit to get there, and now just love watching what Emma Cox is doing. Goodness, Amari, Elon, these guys are doing some big things for us.
On Emma's front, 3 home runs, one of them a grand slam. That gets the headlines. But I thought, Coach, too, like when she hit the grand slam, for example, one of a few big moments, like these were close games, right? Tightly contested games. I don't know, just the ability to step up in a big situation the way she did a few times.
It's important. That's what, you're going to play series like that, and that's what you need. You need in a big moment for somebody to come up and be big in what, they're doing. And I thought you just saw that all weekend with so many of our athletes.
2-part question here for Elon Butler, one of those many athletes I think you're talking about. She hits a couple home runs on Sunday, but how about the defense, Coach? I think the home runs get the accolades, certainly, but to the point of defense winning championships, throwing out runners on Friday and on Saturday both.
Yeah. And almost had another opportunity on Sunday,
that's
but
right.
They held her.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And, well, there you go. That's the ultimate sign of respect, right?
Yeah. No, this is what I think is pretty cool, is that what you do in practice is exactly what you're going to do on game day. And we have been really specific in these last couple weeks of practice, and it just keeps showing up in the game. I look at Elon and her ability to throw runners out. I look at our pitchers turning double play balls and just catching just like laser beams that are coming at them and making it look so easy. I thought Taryn had like an unbelievable pick. I feel like the game doesn't even do it justice, like how difficult it was. So just really loved we needed our defense to really step up this weekend, and they did. Without our defense, that would have opened some innings up for us, for them.
Well, and maybe the best way to describe it is like Lindsey Grimes spent a lot of time just this past week talking about how much the defense gives her confidence. You brought up Taryn. I wanted to ask you just about the left side of your infield in general. You talk about Katie Flannery and how much better, maybe the way I could ask this question, Katie Flannery and Taryn Ho are on the left side of the infield compared to even a few months ago. That experience seems to really paid off.
So much. It's been great to watch Taryn's growth. She's not a freshman anymore. I don't think of her as a freshman, but she had to grow a little bit and just maybe trust her instincts. I think there's times where she didn't trust the timing or her instincts, and she's there now. And Katie, there was 2 big bunts that would be base hits on Sunday that she threw out. Just a step, and again, allowed us to get off the field and go to our offense versus the inning being extended. Yeah. So I really love what our defense is doing, and it's, I think, a tribute to all the work that they're putting in at practice.
Talk about a lot of special moments this weekend, one that we have yet to discuss with Coach Lombardi. Amari Harper. So, context. Hits a homer on Sunday, and then I just love the way that this all played out. Can you walk us through it from your chair, Coach? This is a special thing with professional softball, and I don't know, give fans the full context, the full story.
AUSL, they had a draft, and they drafted 17 athletes. And so they quietly did the draft, and then for them to go out and celebrate these athletes getting drafted and to promote AUSL, they will come to each venue, so the athletes' home stadium, and at the end of the game, they will surprise them with a golden ticket, which means that they are one of the athletes that have been drafted. And so cool. You could see it there it is. But so our athletes, after every game, we go to the plate and we do, recognize our fans. We sing the fight song. And right after that, it was cool to see Natasha walk out.
Oh, yeah.
Natasha Watley. Everybody knows who Natasha Watley is. She's the GOAT. I mean,
that's a full-on star in the softball landscape.
Gosh, I love Tosh. And she walked out and was, when you see her, a golden ticket is coming.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
Yep. And then to see Sabrina come on the video board and call out Amari's name, our team just went crazy. I've known Amari since she was brand new.
Right.
And I just made me think about when she was just a little kid learning how to play softball, and now she's in her final year and she's getting her golden ticket. Yeah. It was awesome. Like our crowd went nuts, our players went nuts. Like to me, it was just like icing on the cake for just an incredible weekend.
That's what I thought. I mean, like there's something to be said, right? For you just have weekends like this. Sometimes everything lines up, everything comes together, and it felt that way. And it only has to happen after a win like that.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you brought up just your history with Amari, because I know that you've talked about this on the show a little bit. Like, you've known her a long time, Coach.
A long time, since she was brand new. And it's cool. It's just to watch her grow up and love to play softball. And then from there, now she's going to college, and I think it's cool that we got to get her for her final year.
Yeah.
She's been great. I love her leadership. She just fits us so well, and she's just been great on and off the field.
Meanwhile, Oregon State is next. You talk about building on momentum. 6 o'clock, another rivalry game with the way the schedule matches up. But remind fans of the scouting report of Oregon State. What do you expect tomorrow at the Jam?
I expect everything. They always come ready to hit. They pitch well. To me, with rivalry games, like this last weekend and even, coming up, it's just, I feel like statistics, records, all of that, it's just out the window. It just doesn't matter. It's about two teams competing, and who's going to be clutch with what they do to win the game.
Yeah. 6 o'clock at the Jane. I understand that some tickets are still available. Meanwhile, it's senior weekend at the Jane against Ohio State. Friday at 6, Saturday at 4, Sunday at noon. Senior ceremony will be Sunday post-game. There are tickets left for all 4 games this week. Supplies are running low. If you're listening and you're thinking about it, this weekend's supposed to be 70 and sunny all weekend, by the way. Might as well head to the Jane. Okay, 2-part question. 1, Ohio State, what do you anticipate? And then 2, senior weekend, Coach. Man, that's a little...
Yeah.
It's coming up on you, isn't it?
It is. Ohio State, power. Power. I think they're 3rd in the country in home runs.
Yeah.
Just got a ton of power. So it's about us keeping the ball in the yard. That's what I think of with them. And then with senior weekend, what's good is I get to cheat a little bit because it's not our final weekend.
That's right. That's right.
So it allows me to just it's not our final weekend.
And if you take care of business, again, number 8 in the RPI. Remember, the top 16 teams host regionals, anticipating some postseason at the Jane. But I said it, though, take care of business. I imagine that's one of your messages to the team, isn't it?
Yes. This group has done a really good job with our journey and understand each piece and how important it is and what it does for us. And so I know they'll be ready to go.
Big weekend at the Jane. Another big weekend upcoming at the Jane. Best of luck against Oregon State, Coach, and we'll see you at the Jane this weekend.
All right, thanks.
Timeout. When we come back, a spring game as well coming up for Oregon football. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial.
Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Doug Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Oregon football spring game coming up 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's the Combat Ducks against the Fighting Ducks. The teams will be divided out. We got guest coaches, all kinds of festivities beginning at 10 a.m. One of the guys that you'll see that I know a lot of folks are excited to see, Dylan Raiola. Checking in with the new Oregon quarterback, getting ready for the spring game.
Dan's talked about the blueprint of quarterbacks coming here, kind of waiting a year and then taking over the starter. How much of seeing what Dante did behind Dylan, how did that contribute to you choosing to come here?
Yeah, I think if you look back through it, I decided before Dante decided. And, it was just a total buy-in of the program and as Oregon as a whole. So I was very excited and to have the opportunity to learn from a number one draft pick caliber guy, it is very special. And, not only him, but the whole room. Every guy brings something to the table, good, bad, and different, and it's all great for everybody to learn from.
You were recruited out of high school by Oregon. You visited here. What was that process like a second time and falling back on those memories, those relationships? How much did that factor in when you went to the portal looking at schools you were going to consider, this being one that you had a relationship with previously?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it says a lot about Coach Lanning and his program. A lot of the same people that recruited me in high school were the same people, that when I came on my visit in the portal were the same people here. So I think that goes a lot to say about how much people love this place and they don't want to leave. Especially, if you look at it, every single coordinator can get hired at pretty much any program in the country. So it's just a blessing to be around, and God gave me a second chance at kind of this whole, this new thing.
And obviously you were a starter immediately in Nebraska. Mm-hmm. You're coming to Oregon where there's no guarantee that it'd be the case.
Absolutely.
Why were you willing to make that, sacrifice to come here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just, obviously you got to humble yourself. I'd be lying if I say it didn't take a couple practices to kind of get used to it, but at the same time, it's all learning, and it's all trying to, eventually achieve the goal of mine and obviously of Dante's right now, and that's our whole room's goal is to get Dante to where he wants to go, and it's a great person to learn from.
Ko and Dante were both complimentary of the way that you've been able to pick up the offense and stuff like that. Just what was it about Oregon's offense that excited you when you were looking at teams in the portal?
Yeah, I think they got exciting players, exciting playmakers to get the ball to. And you can kind of just get the ball out in space, and these guys will, make a miss. And shout out to the big guys up front. Those dudes block their tails off, and I think they do a tremendous job. And then our coaching staff is second to none, best in the country. So, put all those pieces together, you get a product that you're very proud of on the field and spring practice, and hopefully on Saturday night in Austin.
I saw a video over the weekend of your touchdown with Dayton.
Yeah.
I'm curious what it's been like, playing with him. And I know you got here. You guys both got this offseason, but you got here a little bit beforehand. How's it been like kind of learning the ropes first and bringing him along too?
Yeah, having my brother here is a dream come true. It's something that not a lot of siblings, let alone brothers, have the opportunity of. And, for him to be up here and to be able to play together and him to have the courage to switch his position, not knowing what that entails of, I'm very proud of him. And I learn so much from him every day, and I'm grateful to have him here as a Duck and as my brother as well.
The quarterback lineage here with Dan, and even way beyond Dan, is really impressive. How much did that impact your decision to come here? And also, do you have any relationships with past Oregon quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about this place, and a lot of people consider it quarterback U. I haven't been here long enough, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, it's just you just see the development and the growth and the team that Coach Lanning puts around his quarterbacks. I think that helps with being successful is having a full team, and so it's cool. And then past relationships, very blessed to have a relationship with Bo and Marcus and Dylan. So very familiar with the names that came through here, and just very grateful to be in that conversation.
You're just talking about growth and development, and kind of at this school in particular. What are you hoping to gain this year, and I guess the couple of years you'll be here?
Yeah, I'm trying to just maximize this year on everything. Getting healthy, getting back to a place where I can play and compete and do all the things that I love doing, and mainly the connection of this team and being able to learn as a leader, learn from Coach Lanning, learn from Coach Cole and Dante and all the fellas here. So I'm just very blessed to be a part of this football program, and it'll be exciting things to come.
How important do you think the reps that you're able to get early in your career, being a year one starter, are going to pay dividends down the line for you when you do get on the field for Oregon, especially with quarterback being talked about as something that you can really only learn by just getting those reps and actually doing the job?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very grateful for the time I had in Nebraska. I'm very grateful for the coaches and the people and the fans and everyone that I came across too. Yeah, like you said, you can't emulate game speed reps, and I think there's a lot of instances of things that I could have did better to kind of help propel a team to win. But use all those experiences for learning and propel not only myself but this team forward. And however I can present ideas to help Dante or whoever in the room, I'm going to do my best to be the best teammate I can be.
You mentioned getting healthy. How is your leg doing? What's this recovery process been like? Do you feel like you're at 100% or close to it?
Absolutely. 2 weeks ago, I just got fully cleared, so I'm very, very grateful for all the trainers and people and everyone that went into that recovery. And I feel great. Obviously, there's still things that I need to work through to kind of get back comfortable of whether it's the balance of my feet and I mean, it's just so weird. Like, you got to learn how to walk again, and let alone take a drop and throw a football. So there's so many baby steps that go into it, but I'm grateful to be 100% fully cleared and moving forward.
You and Dante are both big-time high school prospects. I wonder, did you guys have a relationship before you started college? You guys know each other at all, or is it just kind of admiring each other from afar?
Yeah, we crossed paths a few visits here and there, but for the most part, it was just seeing each other from a distance. But tremendous player coming out, and then obviously what he's doing speaks for itself.
From an outside perspective, there's always been the comparisons with Patrick Mahomes with you. I'm curious what goes into that for you, whether it's the number, the mannerisms, and how does that impact you? Do you lean into it? Do you shy away from it? What's your thought on that?
No, I wouldn't say I lean into it or I love it. I think that's just a lot of outside noise, and there's some things that obviously probably that I do that gets taken over the hump. But just like it's just learning. I learned from Dante, but I also go back to the NFL and watch. I watch Patrick. I watch Tom Brady and Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford. Like, those are my favorite people to watch. So I think it's just finding ways to learn and grow my game. And he just so happens to be one of the best in the league that does it at a high level.
Dylan Raiola getting ready for the spring game as the Ducks face the Ducks at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Timeout, awards for Oregon lacrosse after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs, and for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Final segment of Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Thanks to Val Johnson and Missy Lombardi joining us today. Also, big news for Anna Simmons. Oregon lacrosse senior Anna Simmons selected as an All-Big Ten second-team honoree today. The midfielder was also named the team's Big Ten Sportsmanship Award recipient. Simmons becomes the first Oregon lacrosse player to earn all Big Ten recognition. Completed a dynamic Oregon career with a strong senior campaign. Led the Ducks in goals with 23, points with 34, draw controls with 63, ground balls with 27, and caused turnovers 23. Also dished out a career-high 11 assists, the second most on the team. Native of North Bend, Washington, Simmons scored at least one goal in 11 of 16 games this year. A lot of standout performances from one of the best to ever wear the Oregon lacrosse uniform. Anna Simmons wrapping up her Oregon career with 98 total goals, fifth in program history in both draw controls and caused turnovers. She's one of the best that Oregon has ever seen. An all Big Ten second teamer, Anna Simmons for Oregon lacrosse. This week, we'll wrap up the season with Oregon lacrosse head coach Jess Drummond. Tomorrow, getting you ready for a double diamond game day against the Beavers. We'll see you on Duck Insider tomorrow.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different,